in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
Whoa.
That's right.
Yikes.
Yeah. You know who loves acapella music?
CJ. It's his
Yeah,
favorite
CJ.
thing.
The devil.
And the devil.
Wow.
That's good stuff, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome to episode number 855 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Long weekend. Enjoying it.
Long weekend.
Yep.
Oh, that must be nice.
I mean, it is nice.
Did you have Friday off or do you have tomorrow off? Is that
Both, baby.
Oh, damn. Now I'm jealous.
Good.
So you're envious.
That's why I brought it up.
Envious. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello.
Hi there.
What's up?
How's it going?
Oh,
What's
fine.
Is it has it been raining like a constant drizzle for the past 3-4 days
Aren't you in
up there
Seattle?
by you?
Isn't it always like that?
Yeah,
Yes.
it actually hasn't been.
We've been having quite a bit of rain here in the Seattle area,
Yeah.
as is the cliche.
After having kind of a dry-ish winter, usually it like rains all winter. It hasn't been that bad
No,
this winter, and then for the past 3-4 days, it's just been constant rain.
little rain.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's not like rain; it's like a drizzle, so it's just enough where you don't want to go outside or anything.
I suppose,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
if you don't like the drizzle.
Drizzle,
CJ
drizzle.
doesn't have the drip
Guess
that the kids are so excited about these days.
what?
Mm-hmm.
The kids excited about
You need the drip.
drip? What's that?
That's the cool new thing that the kids have. The
Okay,
drip.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
I haven't been watching my TikToks.
Well, there's your first problem.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
what should we talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Should we talk about the Mario movie first? Because that came out last week.
It
I
did.
didn't see it, but
2 of the 3 of us saw it.
I went and saw it.
I also went and
Today.
saw it. I went and saw it on Friday.
We did a little family Easter movie viewing.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Was there anyone in costume at your showing?
I did not notice anyone in costume, but when we were arriving to the theater, there was a family leaving from presumably the previous showing, and their kid was dressed up in a full Mario costume.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw several full Marios and Luigis
Nice.
at our showing. And I saw somebody in the parking lot of a McDonald's in full Mario gear in their car.
Really?
Like not near a theater either. It was very strange.
Are you sure it wasn't just a plumber?
Pretty sure.
It would have just been a regular old plumber.
Someone who got inspired
Well, just,
by
by
watching the movie.
someone wearing some overalls, maybe.
Possible.
It's
It's possible. I didn't ask. I
just
should have asked.
anyone can go buy a red shirt and overalls.
That's true. But he
You
had
know.
like the exaggerated Mario hat, like the big fluffy hat.
Maybe their name was Mark
Could be.
or Maurice. Crazy old Maurice.
Mhm.
Always dressing like Mario.
Do we want to say what we thought of the movie at this point? We want to start with that?
I guess so. We'll avoid spoilers.
We'll avoid spoilers, yeah.
If Greg is
just-
concerned about spoilers,
I'm fine.
you're
I mean,
fine.
have you seen any of the trailers, Greg?
Yeah.
Then you've seen the whole movie.
Oh, you guys are really selling me on it.
It was
Uh,
you know what? I was a little nervous because I know the reviews were not super great.
Yeah.
But it ended up being exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was a perfectly fine kids movie
Perfectly fine kids movie. That's what I would describe it as well.
with loads of Nintendo references.
Absolutely,
Weird.
by the tons.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And lots of action sequences, like the set pieces, all of which I think have been seen in trailers by this point.
Yeah, that is true.
They're very impressive.
Yeah, it's a pretty movie.
It's a very pretty movie for sure.
Yeah.
There just isn't a whole lot of meat on the bones.
No, it's a lot of set piece to set piece.
Yeah.
Dry bones.
Dry bones. It is
Good.
a lot of set piece
like
to
it.
set piece. And I don't know. I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfectly
Yeah, no, it
entertaining.
was cute.
I don't need to watch it over and over again. Once for right now is enough.
The see it if you have time picture of the year.
Exactly.
No, it was cute though.
It's a cute movie.
It was
for
cute.
sure.
It was a perfectly fine movie.
And I love the references. I mean, they use the old Super Mario Brothers Super Show theme in there as the commercial for the plumbers. So that was fun. The DK rap is in there
Oh yeah, I've heard all about that because there was a big
instrumentally.
kerfuffle about the
No, that's from Donkey
credits.
Kong 64.
That's
that
right.
song.
One of my favorite video games.
According to the credits, the DK rap is from Donkey Kong 64, generated presumably from
Entirely
nowhere.
Spontaneously.
Yeah,
When
to
they
appear in
finished
that
Donkey
game.
Kong 64, they turned it on and the rap was there.
It was.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how video game development works.
Iwata got a
By
credit,
Tommy Tallarico Studios. Wait,
Yes.
no, sorry.
which was nice.
He wanted a credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave and during the closing credits, they gave a credit to Iwata.
Yeah. And honestly, I did not mind Chris Pratt's Mario. It was very much
He was
invisible. It was fine.
He was
Yeah.
fine.
It wasn't like
So he was just like the rest of the movie. He was fine.
Yeah.
and Charles Martinet or Martinet is in there as well.
A couple of times.
A couple of times. Very entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was sad though. I have not found a Wart reference. I kept looking for
Well,
Wart.
they
I
got to
was
say
like,
something for the sequel, CJ.
Where is Wart? They have to have something
I know.
Wart related, but no. I was very disappointed. That's why I didn't like it.
I'm
But that's
hoping.
that's why I'm cool on the movie, is because there's no Wart.
I'm
there.
hoping. I mean, it seems inevitable they'll do a sequel because this is apparently doing gangbusters,
Yeah,
making a lot of money.
it is. Yeah, and I mean, there were two. There are two post-credit sequels. There's like a mid-credits and a post-credits.
There's a mid-credit and a post-credit, and the post-credit is a sequel tease.
Yeah.
The mid-credit is a gag, and the post is a sequel tease.
Yep.
But I hope, and this is not at all related to the sequel tease post-credit, but I would love if they
Sequel tease was my favorite philosopher. Just so we
post-credit tease. I get it.
no. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Is this how you feel whenever I throw in some
It
stupid
is,
joke?
right? Isn't it annoying?
Yeah, no, this is.
Oh, it's the worst.
God, you waited like 15 years to show me that?
Yeah.
That's your own fault.
No.
You should have let me know about it. You shouldn't let me know about that like a long time ago.
Would it have mattered?
No.
Without you
course,
exactly.
No, of course it would not have. It would not have mattered at all. For the sequel, I would love to see them do something inspired by the Mario and Luigi RPGs, where Bowser is more like maybe forced to work together with
that could be fun
with the brothers, because Jack Black's very good in this movie.
Yeah.
But he's so separated from the rest of the of the brothers for most of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He interacts with Luigi in like a scene, and then there's kind of the final showdown.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of interaction.
No. Well, it is a very short movie as well.
It
Like,
is.
It's only 90 minutes.
It
and
is,
It goes
which-
by pretty
Thank
quick.
goodness.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
You know, I can only handle so much 2.5, 3 hour movies.
Yeah.
That seems to be where most movies are going these days.
Right. Right.
So give me a nice 90-minute movie.
Mhm.
Get me in and out. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
there you
for
go.
everybody listening, you just heard Phil's idea of foreplay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it over. Get me in and out.
Let's go.
Uh,
I got things to
There you
do.
go.
I got places to be.
wow. Yeah.
Neither of those are true, but still.
Yeah. But that was fun. I've heard a lot of folks talking on podcasts like it's one of the greatest movies they've ever seen. And I don't know that I agree with that.
It is the internet.
is
And you
a-
are talking about a Nintendo
I
property.
know.
So
it is a nice piece of Nintendo fan service. It is loads of fan service.
Yes.
and that's all it had to be.
Yeah. Remember all this stuff from that Mario game you grew up with? It's in this movie.
I'm going to spoil a little bit of the movie here.
Yeah.
So anyone listening who's really wanting to go in blind, I'm going to spoil a reference gag. So skip ahead if you want. I don't care. Skip to the end. You know how this show goes. So at the beginning of the movie, at one point, you see Mario, the character, playing an NES. Greg?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Having not seen this,
He wishes it was a Genesis.
that's exactly it. You got it.
Crazy.
Yeah. Why can't I be playing Altered Beast? That's my Chris
Oh my
Pratt
gosh.
Mario
That is
voice.
a great Chris Pratt.
Be way shorter than the movie.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. Which is not actually in
dead
the
ringer.
movie.
It's not. No.
That-
I
that-
kept
that-
waiting for it.
That iconic line from the trailer is not actually in the movie.
not.
But he is playing the NES. Greg, what game do you think Mario is playing on the NES?
Urban Champion.
They should make a movie out of this game. And that's what he says. He's not. He's not playing Urban Champion. He's playing, spoiler alert, Kid Icarus.
Right.
Ah.
So that makes me wonder, in this world, in this fantasy world of the Super Mario Brothers movie, where the NES exists, Nintendo as a company exists, but presumably Super Mario Brothers video games do not, because they are real
you
people.
saying that the Super Mario Brothers video game series is a work of nonfiction
Yes.
in the universe of this movie?
Is Pit Nintendo's mascot character
Oh,
in this world?
interesting.
Kid
No, it's
Icarus the-
Eggplant Wizard
Huh?
is the mascot. Eggplant Wizard.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Anyway.
From Captain N.
Oh, that particular version
That's right.
with the giant blue nipples.
Uh-huh. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh no, that was King Hippo who had the nipples.
King Hippo. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. And there's Punch Out referred to in this movie too.
Yes, there is.
Parlor is Punch Out.
You get some Punch Out references. You get some Kid Icarus references. You get some balloon fight.
Mm-hmm.
I saw referenced
Yeah.
a little Famicom Disc Coon mascot.
It's in there. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of
Lots
little
of
background.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Uh,
we loved this movie.
There you go.
That
My
sounds exciting.
daughter and my wife really liked it too. So
Yeah. Finn really enjoyed it.
and then we came home. My daughter wanted to play Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, the
So
first
I
one.
busted out the NES controllers for the Switch,
Mhm.
the rechargeable ones, wireless ones, and my wife and daughter played some Super Mario Brothers 2-player.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
real fun. Yeah, good
Meanwhile, CJ
times.
is over there yelling at them to play Mario 2.
CJ was playing Fortnite.
No, I was not playing Fortnite. Glance. But anyway, yeah. So Mario movie's out, and it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I
Well.
watched the Tetris movie.
Oh yeah.
You guys discussed that last week, and actually after the show last week, Dana and I sat down and watched Tetris.
What'd you think?
It was good. I liked it.
Just got
Uh,
progressively weirder, I felt.
you know what? I mean, it did. It's obviously over the top, but it wasn't as over as top as I thought it was going to be.
Really? You didn't think, I mean, spoiler warning, I guess. You didn't
was
think the
pretty
car
over the
chase at the end was...
Oh no, yeah, I mean, yes,
you know, especially with who was driving.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was definitely over the top, but it wasn't as full blown bonkers as I thought it was gonna get. I mean, certainly it was like, okay, you know, they're clearly having fun throwing car chases and that sort of thing, but yeah, I don't know. Just from the tone of the trailers and everything, I thought it was gonna go just like super ridiculous by the end, as opposed to just, yeah, we're throwing in a little action scene for a goof here.
Yeah.
It was good though. It felt like it was kind of dragging towards the end.
There was no dragon in it.
Speaking of dragons.
No,
It's a different movie. That's Dungeons and Dragons.
no, I got confused. I got thinking of Chris Pine, as I usually do.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I thought Tetris kind of dragged by the end.
I actually thought the beginning was the part that dragged.
really.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of checking my phone at a few times throughout the movie. So
Put your phone away when you're watching a movie.
I would have if the movie had been more interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but yeah, it could have been better.
I liked the Tetris movie also. And then Greg, you saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I did.
Yeah,
That was a lot of fun.
I've heard that.
Highly recommend it.
I've heard that from a few people that it's actually a lot of fun.
It's really, really well written.
Yeah.
The sort of the back and forth between the characters, the dialogue in general, it's just I think it's consistently funny.
Okay.
What I really like about it is that it doesn't feel like it would have been so easy with Dungeons and Dragons, even though I know it's like an official movie. It would have been so easy to make fun of Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure.
Because it's an easy thing to make fun of. And they don't, but it's still really funny. So good action sequences as well. Way better than the previous one. Yes, it's not even the same. Yeah, the previous one was terrible. No, really, I think you guys will really enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
And you don't need to be a Dungeons and Dragons fan to enjoy it either. It's just a really fun sort of, medieval, like I said, Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I do play D&D a little bit, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, I'm not like ensconced in the D&D lore and everything. But the cool thing is that a lot of the place names and stuff they're using are it's from the Forgotten Realms. I don't know what the term I'm looking for, universe, I guess.
Okay.
So like they're always talking about like Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate, and so it's like a bunch of stuff that if you're a video game nerd, you've heard those names, you've seen those names before. So there's a fair amount of that going on too. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it a lot. Great casting, really good writing, legitimately funny dialogue.
Would
and
you
doesn't
call it a
drag. It's like
romp?
a romp. Yes, I would. It's
All
definitely a
right.
romp.
How
And it's
many
like
times did
2.5
characters
hours long, and it
explain
doesn't ever drag
Mamma
or anything like
Mia
that.
during the
What?
film? That's what I want to
No.
know.
No,
Did anyone exclaim Mamma Mia?
no,
No?
Hmm.
no, they did not.
Then it's
Mario
Not as-
says it a
not as
few
good.
times.
He says it like 3 or 4 times. I was like, are they trying to push this as a new Mario catchphrase?
Yeah.
Anyway, no, really fun movie.
Good.
I
Good.
really liked it a lot.
It has a. How's Justice Smith in it?
Excellent.
Good.
Your
They
pal?
all are. All the
My old
characters
friend
are.
Justice Smith.
Yeah.
All the characters are great.
Oh, good.
I don't get the reference. Why is Justice Smith your old friend? What are we talking about?
Justice Smith has starred in other movies.
Yeah.
One of which is Detective Pikachu.
Oh, right. He's in Detective Pikachu. Right. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yes.
Alrighty.
I interviewed him.
You know,
Yes,
actually, one of my
good.
favorite characters in the movie, though, Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
She was great.
Nice.
Anyway, go see it.
All right.
Like
Since,
now?
since there was a lot of promotion going on for the Mario movie, Miyamoto was interviewed by Variety.
Okay.
And as part of that, they asked him a question like, when is the next mainline Mario game going to come out? And
He
he
said,
Will it
next
also be
week.
Minecraft?
In video game magazines.
he said, well, all I can say is please stay tuned for future Nintendo Directs.
I mean, that could mean anything.
That could mean anything. Yeah.
I have a
think
feeling
people-
that was more of a. I have to give a very generic answer.
that is the most generic answer you could possibly
As-
give. But I think a lot of people started pinning their hopes on, a new Mario is going to get it announced at a future Nintendo Direct, which is like, duh. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Is Nintendo going to make another Mario game ever? Yes.
Probably. Will it be announced at a
It
Nintendo
feels
Direct?
like they will. Yeah.
Seems likely.
Seems extremely likely.
Is that an imminent thing that is going to be happening? Maybe not. I don't know.
Probably not. I don't know. Yeah, they
Who
are
knows?
pushing existing Mario games as sort of part of the movie hype. The
Yeah.
eShop is very much full of promo for the existing Mario
Oh,
titles.
yeah.
And there's, if you never played Mario 3D World, you've got a great Mario game sitting right there.
That is a good game.
It was great on the Wii U and great on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hey, Bowser's Fury was great. I liked Bowser's Fury.
I agree.
It was very cool.
Yes, it was a game. All right. So a rumor hit the internet last week that Sony is apparently working on a new handheld. But wait, don't get your hopes up. It's not going to be
Vita 2?
Not going to
But
be a
by
Vita.
By definition, Sony working on a new handheld does not get my hopes up.
Oh, okay. It's not going to be a Vita
Ouch.
successor. Instead, this is rumored to be a remote play focused device that would need a PS5 to operate, and you would have to connect it to the internet. It would have to have a constant connection to the internet to work. So, yeah, this is up my alley.
That feels
But I already have
like a
the
mistake.
Logitech G Cloud.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there are already devices out there that do this, and
There are.
more than just this.
there are, except that if Sony made their own device, it could have adaptive triggers and the rumble that the DualSense has, which most of these cloud gaming devices do not have, or like a backbone controller that does not rumble either. So it could bring you closer to the real PS5 experience. Part of the rumor says that it's remote play only. They specifically don't mention cloud gaming, which I thought was interesting, since Sony does have some cloud games available on PS
Like
Plus.
all the PS2 games, right? And PS1 games can be
PS3
cloud.
games, all of those are
PS3.
cloud.
Sorry, it's PS3.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it could be cool if it has the adaptive triggers. If it's a premium device that has all this stuff, I think a lot of people are like,
Yeah,
this thing better be cheap for me to be interested in
that's
it.
the
But
thing. I mean, I think if it's going to have the bells and whistles you're talking about, it won't be cheap.
I want the bells and whistles though. Like,
I mean, I
what's
know
the
when I think
point
of Sony, I always think bargain priced.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It feels, I don't know. It feels like paying a premium for a device that just does that
Yeah,
might not be the greatest.
I think it would
Just
be
me.
interesting if, because on a device like the Logitech G Cloud, or even like connecting to remote play on your phone, you're getting you have to, like, for the G Cloud, you have to select the remote play app and then like go into it
That sounds
and
awful.
look at your PS5's UI and stuff to select games. I think it could be interesting if it uses remote play or cloud gaming sort of in the background, where the UI is more focused on what game you want to play, and then the connection just happens in the background, right? That could be cool. That could be very cool.
I
But
didn't follow what you were saying. I'm serious. Like I didn't follow.
you know, on
Tell me.
on your phone, if you want to play a remote, if you want to start a remote play session, you load up
Right.
the remote play app
Okay.
and then connect to your PS5, and you're looking at the PS5 UI, and then you select a game. What I'm thinking of is more something on top of the interface for the handheld that would basically just be, oh, I want to play Spider-Man, so I select the icon that says Spider-Man, and it does the remote play or cloud connection in the background, and then just loads up Spider-Man. I don't have to.
Oh, so you just want to? You're saying smooth out the UI at the beginning.
Smooth out the experience. Yes, I
Yeah,
would
I'd
be
pay
interested
pretty
in
much
that
for that.
because that's something that these other cloud handhelds can't do.
That's fair.
So I'd like to see that. But the chances of that happening, I mean, yeah, you get a PlayStation handheld that does remote play, and the UI on it is only the remote play app. Like, that seems kind of chintzy to me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're making leaps here, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I just, like I said, I feel like releasing something that's going to be limited just to the PlayStation is going to be rough.
it depends what the quality of the device is. For me, I mean, I use remote play a lot, so I would be interested.
So
in
were
a
you
premium
really?
style
So
device.
if it comes out and that is what it offers,
Mhm.
and it and the adaptive triggers, I guess, and it's at a premium price, you would buy that?
Possibly, yeah,
That's CJ for yes.
I'd be
by
very
the way.
interested.
After 15 years, we all know that that's CJ for yes.
Oh, yes, it is.
Possibly,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
I'd be
fine.
down.
I'm just, yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
let's talk about the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, because we got a launch date for
Yeah.
these. They're coming out on April 19th for PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch, and they have a whole bunch of new features, including a new font.
I'm thinking of actually picking these up.
And they have difficulty selects. You can basically like give yourself 4x XP if you want on any of the titles. So
Yeah.
I'm
I wonder if they're
pretty
going
interested.
to update the Steam versions with any of this stuff.
Well, I wonder that too. Yeah. And you will be able to select between or the orchestral, the sort of remastered tunes, or the original soundtracks as well. So
Speaking as a huge fan of the original soundtracks, I don't know why you go back. The orchestral tunes are so nice.
they are nice. Yeah.
Man, they're good.
Some people want the OG
Yeah.
experience, so that's fine too. But yeah, I'm tempted.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, me too. I have the first one on Steam already.
Yeah. You know, I've never
That's the thing,
played
I'm
Final
wondering
Fantasies 1 through 5. I've not played. I started with 6.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I've never
So-
played 6.
Wow.
6 is awesome.
And that's what I
That was
keep
the
hearing.
first RPG that I ever finished.
And with
6 is a masterpiece.
if I can cheat my way through by turning off random encounters and
Which is another thing you can do. Yeah, you can turn off random encounters.
and cranking up the experience, yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah. I like that. I much prefer that to when Square re-released Final Fantasy IX. I think I've said this on the show before. It has a setting for you to basically just blow through any fight by like giving yourself 9,999 hit points.
Oh,
And
really?
all your attacks land for 9,999 damage. It's just like, why would you do that rather than like something like 4x XP? Like,
Yeah, the 4x thing is like, I mean, having played through Phantasy Star 2 that way, that's a fantastic way to experience these old RPGs, because you're still playing and you're still getting the experience. You're just taking out sort of the grind,
Right.
Yeah.
which is, that's great. So you're still getting that experience without sort of the artificial lengthening of the game.
Yeah.
That they did for obvious reasons. But yeah, no, I'm interested to see if some of those updates come to the Steam versions, because I have been playing the first one on the Steam Deck. If those updates aren't going to come to the Steam versions, I might switch over to the Switch or the.
I have to
PS5.
imagine they will, right? But maybe
I
not.
can't imagine
Square,
they wouldn't. Yeah,
Square Enix, so maybe not.
yeah.
But yeah,
Hard
the
to
whole
say.
collection is up on the Switch eShop right now for $74.99. So you get a bit of a discount if you buy the pack of all of them.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
very tempted. Very tempted.
Nice.
Yeah. All righty. Well, the Cowabunga collection has gotten an update. I don't know if you saw this. Very important update. Very important update. It brings online play to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. And apparently some new stuff in the the artwork section as well.
It's nice to see that they're still supporting it.
I know. It's great. And Konami announced that it has sold over 1 million copies. Cowabunga collection.
Good for Digital Eclipse.
Absolutely.
Happy to hear it.
Right. I think this proves that if you do a retro collection the right way with care and love, then you will be rewarded with sales.
Doesn't hurt that this collection has some of the most beloved 16-bit games in it, and arcade games.
That's absolutely true.
I mean, not saying that they couldn't do that with other stuff too, but those games didn't hurt.
No.
Yes. Agreed.
Boy,
So-
speaking of turtles, when I was at the Mario movie, I saw the
trailer.
the turtle trailer
Oh yeah?
on the big screen, which was
Looks
was
good.
nice.
Hmm.
That's a good looking movie.
I didn't see that one. They didn't play that trailer at our theater.
Oh, go back and demand that they show it to you.
I demand to watch this trailer.
Yeah, you can do that.
Of course.
Saw the new Spider-Verse movie trailer.
Ah.
Got the turtle trailer. Oh yeah,
You get the Barbie trailer?
the Barbie trailer.
Got the Barbie trailer, yeah. Good times.
Yep.
Alrighty. I think it's time for what you've been playing.
Oh.
So Phil,
Uh-oh.
why don't you kick us off?
I haven't been playing much. Mainly just
no.
Dead Cells.
No.
I got back into Dead Cells in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little more streaming of it. And then because I'm playing through the PlayStation version, specifically the PS4 version on Twitch. So I'm not doing any progress on that version unless I'm streaming it. So
Okay.
yeah, so if I'm in the mood to play some Dead Cells, but I'm not in a position to stream it at the moment, I've been loading up my Steam version or my Switch version and just playing some more on those. Boy, oh boy, do I love Dead Cells! And I'll tell you what, I was playing it yesterday on the old Steam. And I got to some of the later Castlevania levels, and I made it to Count Dracula himself.
Whoa.
The Count Dracula?
The one in the same.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had the spoiler alert?
Not bad
do
for
the-
a miserable pile of secrets.
They do the whole what is a man thing. He
course
throws
they
the wine glass down, and you battle Dracula. I defeated him, and I was very excited. I felt very proud of myself. And then he has a second form that, for whatever reason, naivete, let's call it, I was not expecting. And I had used up all but like one of my little health elixirs. So I did not make a lot of progress on this second form. So I'm going to have to go back and try again later. But I was very pleased with myself. That's a good game. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been playing much else. I'm very excited though. Next week, the Mega Man Battle Network collection comes out.
So were you a fan of those games?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. I played the first one for a little while, and it wasn't really. It's like, what are those games? Are they kind of like deck built, like card collecting? I know they're not cards, but you know what I mean. Like you're collecting chips.
Yeah. They're battle chips.
Chips, right?
Don't.
But that's what it is, right? You're
don't embarrass yourself.
The battle chips.
Yeah, it's very much. I started
embarrassing myself 15 years ago. I'm over it.
It's very much a kind of action RPG with a heavy deck building aspect to it. Yeah, because it is very much just collecting those chips and then deciding which ones you want to have in your arsenal to use when you are in the battle scenes and stuff like that. And yeah, they're actually pretty good. I am a fan of the Battle Network games, so I'm looking forward to the chance to revisit those.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've had a Mega Man collection. They did an X collection fairly recently, right? So they got this now. So we go back to another Mega Man collection soon.
Well, I mean, the Mega Man collection has what? All 10 of them?
Up to 8, I thought. I think 9 and 10 were not in that collection.
No, I think they are.
I could be wrong about that. I thought I went back and played 9 and 10 on whatever console I owned them for.
I think 9 and 10 are in the collection.
Yeah.
And then there's the X collection, and then they did the Mega Man Zero collection. You know what they still need to do is a Legends collection.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And then none of the handheld stuff is in there. I don't know why you'd want to have those as their own collection.
Right.
I feel like those should be kind of like what Sega's doing with Sonic Origins collection. You kind of want to release them as DLC, right?
Right. But yeah, I would love a Legends collection that had the 2 Legends games and then Misadventures of Tron Bonne. Especially if they went back and gave them proper analog control. Right. Because the Legends games get kind of crapped on. Mainly because of their control, which is terrible, especially because the first one, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, came out before the PlayStation 1 had analog controllers.
Yes, I believe you're right.
So yeah, if they were to go back and like retool the controls, that would be fantastic. Because yeah, those games they're fun games.
And they've done a Zero and ZX Legacy collection too.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Greg? Don't even worry about it.
I'm not.
Okay, good. Oh, I see Nameva in the chat suggesting that they could put the Legends 3 demo on the Legends compilation, which would be great. I don't know if they would ever do it, but that would be fantastic.
What was that network game that came out on the PlayStation 2?
Network Transmission.
Was that the one? It was like an RPG, sort of an RPG style.
It's a more traditional side-scrolling Mega Man game. Set in the Battle Network universe.
Yeah.
It still uses the little battle chip deck building mechanic, but for a kind of run and gun platformer. Mm-hmm. And it is not good.
You know, I don't think that's the one I was thinking about.
Oh.
Was I thinking about Command Mission?
Oh, Command Mission that's part of the X series. That's the RPG.
That's the RPG. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Was
Mega Man
that
X
wasn't in the
Command
X
Mission.
Legacy collection, was it?
I do not think that is in the X collection.
Okay.
No.
Hmm.
I don't think it is. Which was weird.
It feels like a forgotten game.
Yeah.
Don't know that it was super popular when it came out. Anyway,
Yeah.
just sort of. I'm filling time because I got nothing to talk about in my what you've been playing. So I'm trying to,
Hey, me neither.
yeah.
What's going on? Why did none of us play any games this
I
week?
don't
This was
know.
super busy for me. So
I have
Yeah.
been busy too.
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
that's it. Dead Cells and waiting for Battle Network.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Greg's got nothing apparently.
Well,
nothing.
I have been bouncing around to different games. I played some Fortnite, played some Sea of Thieves, played some more Dredge, and popped in Breath of the Wild and played some more of that as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, waiting for the next thing to come out. I've got like a bunch of games that I'm like halfway through that I really should finish, but I haven't yet. Like, I want to go back to Hi-Fi Rush. I want to go back to Dead Space, and I
You
did
should definitely go back to
Dead
Hi-Fi
Space,
Rush.
last week. But yeah, and I want to finish Hi-Fi Rush for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of hopping around to different games. Not really. I did pick up Rogue Legacy on the Switch because it was $2.
Bargain at twice the price.
I was like, I kind of have to pick this up now, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And I picked up the during the Capcom sale. I picked up the Ace Attorney and Great whatever the two collections that they did.
Right.
Ace Attorney collection and then the other one they did, which I can't remember the title of. But they were pretty cheap. They were like $15 each, I think, something like that. Anyway, I picked those up.
Nice.
So I want to hop back into that. I think maybe Charlotte would like playing those. She's into mystery style games and like detective style games. So yeah, we might play some of that. But I guess I can plug this here. I was a guest on the Max Frequency podcast this past week.
Max Frequency?
It's hosted by Max Roberts. There is no Max Frequency. Yeah,
that's a little disappointing.
Yeah,
but it's
should at least be a stage name.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it's a fun interview podcast. So Max asked me questions about EGM in the old days and the Sonic and Tails and Smash Brothers trick, the April Fool's trick that everybody remembers from back in the day. And we actually went through my first issue of EGM, which is issue 61.
Yeah.
And I had done a couple things in that issue, the letters section and press start, which was the news section. And yeah, I admitted during that podcast that I wrote one of the I am behind one of the meme captions that you see sometimes. It's an image that people often bring up.
I had no idea this was you.
The PlayStation can produce mind-boggling effects.
It's a screenshot of some chintzy looking skeletons.
But I think it kind of looks like a Kingsfield screenshot. Maybe
it does.
That's
I assumed it was Kingsfield.
I assume it's that.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's unfair that that's become a meme because back then those were pretty impressive.
They were mind-boggling effects. Exactly. And also I had to write like 3 pages on the PlayStation with absolutely no material. So can you blame me? I don't know. But it was fun kind of going back to some of those old issues of EGM and talking about that with Max. So if you have any interest in that stuff whatsoever, give the Max Frequency podcast a listen. He also did an episode recently with Robert Ashley, the host of A Life Well Wasted. So got some good episodes in his back catalog. So you might want to stroll on through that stuff.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, that's
speaking of old video game magazines, I threw a few bucks at at the Video Game History Foundation recently.
Okay.
You know how they do that retro magazine subscription service?
Yeah.
Where you pay them a few bucks a month and they'll send you a random video game magazine.
Yeah.
I did this and I just got it in the mail the other day. I haven't even opened it up because they ship it. It's all nicely boarded and bagged.
Okay.
But I got, here it is. Here it is. I got.
Oh, shit.
This is the very first issue for those not watching on the YouTubes or whatever. This is the very first issue of the Game Player's Guide to the Nintendo.
I love that.
This was the an old Game Player's magazine. This was on store shelves in winter 1998. Cover price $3.95.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about this is that Frank Cifaldi and his Video Game History Foundation organization has somehow got a hold of like a couple hundred issues of this.
Oh, really? Oh,
that were uncirculated.
Huh.
Like they found a warehouse somewhere that just had hundreds of copies of this that were still in their original packing boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, I think they're out of them now, but like all the people who had subscribed to their little magazine shipping service got, and you can hear this crinkling as the bag this thing is packed in, but they all got one of those. The reason why I was so excited about this was that particular magazine was the very first video game magazine that I purchased.
Same.
Is that right?
Yes.
Really?
It is. Yes. At a video game swap meet is where I picked up my copy of that.
Wow.
Nice.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was I mean, it certainly wasn't the first I'd read because I had friends at school who had gotten like the Nintendo Fun Club and some of those early EGMs.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the first time I think I probably picked it up at Walden Books. If you remember Walden Books.
I don't.
Did they not have Walden Books in Canada?
I don't believe they did. I really don't remember.
It was a mall bookstore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first video game magazine I ever bought. And I read it and reread it probably about a zillion times.
Those were the days.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing that, I was thinking about it, I think I'm going to hold this cover up again. You'll notice on the cover, and some of it's blocked by this little note that they put in there. But you'll notice that there are pictures of actual kids on the cover.
Yeah.
And that was the gimmick with the early, I don't even know if that extended into the second issue. But the gimmick of this particular magazine was that they had like a kids panel. And it was like, oh, these are real kids giving their opinion about games. And I have a feeling that's probably what sold me on it. Was thinking, oh, these kids get to be in a magazine and talk about what Nintendo games they like? That's awesome. So I bought it. They got me.
Nice. Yeah.
It worked. Their gimmick worked on me. And then I went on to write video games reviews in magazines. Look at that.
So you could
See
say
how that
your
worked out?
career started there.
Yep. That was it. This is what got me where I am today. Talking to you schlubs.
Excellent.
That's what you'd think. But
Yeah, I had
excited
that
about
one. I had that one. Game Players. I had a couple issues of Game Players. I loved the one especially that talked about the Famicom disk system.
Oh,
because they were one of the first magazines to even like acknowledge the Japan side of video games.
Oh, really?
Like every now and again, you'd get like a Super Mario Brothers 3 preview in GamePro or something like that. But nobody would really talk about what the Nintendo Entertainment System was in other areas of the world, right?
And this, for the record, predates game fan. Who of
Yes.
course
yeah.
were.
by a
Yeah, yeah.
lot, by
Yeah,
a few
they-
years.
Yeah, we all know Game Fan back in the day was like the
Ant-Man was like
big.
91 or 92, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But even like talking about import games, you didn't see a whole lot of that.
No.
In the early days of
No, you
video
really
game
didn't.
magazines. Like they would talk about some of that stuff, but they wouldn't like show you what the game industry or what the market was like in Japan.
Right.
And so there was a Game Players issue that had like a breakdown of the disc system and the Famicom and screenshots of Super Mario Brothers 2, the Lost Levels,
Oh, right.
which I had, heard about, but had never seen. And to like see that, I don't think I actually.
Somebody wasn't renting those 101 game cartridges that were in all the rental places.
Well,
That's for sure. Because that's where I found that the first time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
My first
That's
experience playing that was, of course, on Super Mario All-Stars.
Yeah, same here.
And I did end up finishing the game, but I didn't love it.
Wow, you finished that game?
I finished
I
it.
I never ever did.
Yeah. But using the very generous continue system,
Mm.
which apparently, if you played it natively on the disk system, it did not have any of that stuff. So
That is surprising.
yeah. But hey, speaking of purchases, we're pulling out our purchases here. I finally picked this up, which is the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch color screen thing that Nintendo put out a couple of years ago. But at this point, I think. But Best Buy had it as their deal of the day for $30, and I was like, okay, that's a good price. They got me. Eventually, they got me.
Nice.
Yeah, and I hadn't picked it up because I don't really. I mean, I like the original Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2 and the Game Boy game that's on there, Link's Awakening. But I don't have like a huge amount. Like my nostalgia for the Zelda series kind of starts at Ocarina of Time. Like that's where I really started loving the series. So I had not picked it up before then.
That's the way. I think that's the main reason I love Zelda 2 so much. Is like Zelda 2 was my introduction to that series, and I fell in love with that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Well then, yes. Greg, you want to tell us about all the things you've been playing?
Seriously, not much.
Now, whenever I see you online and you're playing Call of Duty, that's not actually you.
That is not me. No, it's my son. I refuse to play Call of Duty because Microsoft and Activision are ruining the game industry. Apparently, I keep hearing. I don't know why. I'm just repeating what I read on the internet.
No, you're mad at Sony because they've done things to make
right,
Microsoft not successful in Japan.
Right. I only play Call of Duty because I'm mad at Sony for ruining Activision's lives in Japan.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Is that not?
Oh,
that was
no, that wasn't me.
A couple lawmakers signed some message to Sony that they've prevented Microsoft from being successful in Japan, and that was just a load of
whatever. No, I finished. I've been playing through. Actually, I didn't put this on here, but I did recently finish playing through Conquest of the Longbow, which is an old Sierra Online adventure game. I play adventure games on Monday nights on my Twitch channel, and this one actually took a long time. I'd never played it before. It was a follow-up to Conquests of Camelot, but it was really good. It's a Robin Hood game, and it's just like it really felt to me like sort of the zenith of what they were doing with quest games, like starting with King's Quest and stuff like that. Like it was, it's just it's very cinematic for those kinds of games. Lots and lots and lots of dialogue. Really well made. It's sort of sitting in that I think they're VGA graphics. If they're not VGA graphics, I think they're VGA graphics. Some really nice animations, some great voice samples, including hilarious screams when you shoot an arrow at someone. Just all in all, it was really good. But I don't really have much to talk about it. I didn't really play much else. So yeah, that was it. That's why I was trying to get Phil talking about Mega Man so we could kill some time.
Hey,
well then,
Greg, want me to kill time? Did you? Here's more crap I bought. Did you see this? I posted this on Twitter.
Jesus Christ.
Have you seen this?
No.
Do you know what this is?
Is that supposed to be a like from Ghostbusters?
It is
No,
not
what
from
is it?
Ghostbusters. This is a giant upscaled version of the Lego Star Wars mini kit canisters.
Oh,
God.
These are
amazing.
when you play Lego Star Wars, there are 10 of these hidden throughout each level, and you collect them all.
That's what they're made out of, huh?
To unlock a ship. And it's actual, like, you can take it apart.
Does it have a ship in it?
It does not. It's just made of
hilarious. Oh, okay.
It's just made of Lego bricks. But these are all 3D printed. I bought these off a fellow on Etsy.
Nice.
And I am delighted with
That's
my giant
fantastic.
Lego bricks.
Jesus Christ.
I also look at this here. I bought giant Lego stud
Studs?
pieces as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
These are the currency from the Lego Star Wars games. And they all, they fit together. They're Lego bricks.
that's
Nice.
fantastic.
So it was
Now,
amusing.
what do you
'cause
do
I
with
saw
things like
these.
that, Phil?
What's that?
What do you do with
What do
things
you
like
do
that?
with these things?
This, honestly, what I do with this is it sits on my desk and I look over at it and I smile.
There you go.
A big grin. I don't know what it is. Look at this. I got my big Lego computers piece from the old 80s Lego kits. I got look at this here. I got my giant Lego walkie-talkie. Anything that lets me fulfill my fantasy of being a little Lego man, living in a Lego world.
Everything is awesome.
This is all I want out of life.
I love
Is
it.
right here.
Nice. Okay.
All I want.
All right.
I'm sure that makes your family feel wonderful.
It does. They're like, let's
You guys
leave
are
Daddy
okay.
alone.
But
He can keep doing what he's doing.
Yep.
I you know what though? It's funny because I took some pictures of this and I was showing it off on the Twitters to whatever handful of people are still on Twitter.
Mm.
And I got a message earlier today through Etsy from the fellow who runs the shop, the guy who prints these.
Ah.
And he messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I suddenly noticed that I was getting a lot of people visiting my store through Twitter." And then he was like, "So I went to Twitter and was looking it up and he saw my post and he was thanking me for directing people to his store and he made a coupon code. So if anyone wants any of this stuff, go to my Twitter account, which is @whimsicalphil. And you'll find a link to the dude's store, and you'll find the I think Big Lego 10, I think is the coupon code he made. It'll get you 10% off.
Nice.
And we just did an ad. Boom.
I guess so.
But yeah.
I'll include that link in the show notes.
Oh, please do.
Also. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because
Nice.
it's man, oh man. If I was smarter, I would learn how to operate a 3D printer. And it's probably best that I don't because
it's
my
probably best
house
you
would
don't.
be
Yeah.
my house would be filled with this.
I feel like you've got a lot of stuff now.
I know. If I could just start making things
Yeah.
out of thin air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just that's a danger waiting to happen.
Yeah. Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Oh. A tweedly diddly dee. A tweedly diddly dee. Tweet. A tweet. A tweet.
All right, we got this one from Hacker Alias, the famous Paul.
I know him.
He is famous. He's number 1 on iTunes.
Number one. This is, of course,
Oh.
Paul Mattingly
Yes.
of Ice Cream Social, the number one comedy album of all time.
Well, not all time.
Of all time.
Currently, right?
Currently.
Yes.
At this moment.
At this moment.
Yes.
All right. So Paul asks, mobile games have evolved quite a bit and have become somewhat less reliant on microtransactions and pay-to-win mechanics. I'm currently enjoying Marvel Snap, and I wonder if any mobile games have grabbed any of you recently. Any we should give a try.
Nope.
Now here's a tip, Paul.
Uh-oh.
Marvel Snap is the only one that respects your your time and money. There are many other mobile games that will do just what they were doing previously. pay to win mechanics and microtransactions. The difference now is that oftentimes those games hide them until you've spent 10 plus hours on them, and then they reveal themselves, right?
Is that true?
That's kind of the difference. Yeah. A lot of mobile games do that nowadays. And if I can recommend anything on Apple Arcade is worth playing. And then if you have a Netflix subscription, which I'm sure that you do, Netflix actually has quite a library of mobile games in their app. You have to scroll down a little bit. It's usually like the sixth or so column in your Netflix app, or you can just search for games within the Netflix app on your phone and you'll see them. But Netflix has quite a library of games that are full games and you can play them. They don't have microtransactions and they're actually quite good. Quite a lot of like console games, some indies have been brought to mobile via Netflix and you can play them on your phone.
Is that true?
Yes, and in fact, the creator of Downwell did a game called Point P for Netflix. So Point P is a Netflix game that is certainly worth checking out as well. And there's on Apple Arcade, there's a Doctor Who game that just came out. If you're into that sort of thing,
on Apple Arcade,
there's a Doctor Who hidden object game.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man!
But yeah, there's a lot
to get me into hidden object games.
There's some good stuff on mobile as long as you stay away from free to play stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, Marvel Snap is a good game, and it certainly does. Its monetization is good, but I feel like that's a glass of water in a desert, right? Like it's just not the case mostly.
I gotta go check out this Apple Arcade Doctor Who. Look, it's you can't see it, but it's the Hey Scoops album.
Yes,
I was listening to that the other day.
Everybody should go
Paul,
check
it's good
out.
stuff. I know he's listening.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, there's no probably. Paul's listening right now.
No, probably about it.
Paul's listening right now.
Let's do this one from hacker alias Frunkus Baldwin. Who says, with the shrinking mass market video game sites laying off folks due to shrinking revenue and podcasts, small video channels and fan sites doing well, is there a need for the big guys like IGN, Kotaku, GameSpot, Polygon, etc. to exist? You're shrugging.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't been to any of them in
ages.
I don't work in the games press anymore, so yeah, sure.
You know what my biggest concern,
and
it's not to say that this never ever happened on or happens on big sites, but my biggest concern is that influencers, the ethics there can be a little bit shady.
That is true.
It can be way more influenced by free stuff, or just yeah. And again, not that never happened in or happens in the big sites, but I feel like there's a bit of a safety net surrounding that sort of thing in the in those sites. But that's just me, So, but I barely check influencers out, and I don't remember the last time I went to any of those big sites for anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm joking, of course, about shutting down IGN or whatever, but I mean, I haven't gone to any of those sites in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that irks me a little bit about the bigger sites nowadays is that they combine like movie and television stories and their video game stuff. I really would prefer, and some of the sites do have RSS feeds that are just the gaming news, which I do subscribe to. And every now and then there will be an interview on one of the big sites that is really good. So I'll keep my eye on them for that in general. But oftentimes, like, those sites aren't covering the kinds of games I want to read about. Like, they're covering the stuff that'll get them clicks, and that makes sense, right? But I would rather read about smaller indie titles that have interesting stories than read about Call of Duty and Apex Legends.
Call of Duty's really
that stuff.
taking its lumps today on the show, huh?
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and I think part of that is just the way that I consume video games now is not necessarily covered by IGN and Kotaku and GameSpot. But I do like keep my eyes on them in case they have like an interesting post. And every now and again, Polygon will have a really good feature that I'll read. So it certainly happens. But I like a lot of these smaller niche sites as well, and YouTube channels. Like, that's where I get more entertainment out of, I think. Like, yeah, you can really listen to podcasts about whatever you want to hear about, right? Like, if I want to hear a Nintendo show only talking about Nintendo, I can do that. If I want to, see indie game trailers that came out this week, there's a channel for that, right? Like, so yeah, I don't visit the big guys as much as I used to, for sure.
No.
Do I think they should still exist? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think there is, and even like the mainstream reviews of the Mario movie, there still is this like weird disconnect between what video games are and what the mass entertainment audience like sees. What was that Variety review of the Super Mario Brothers movie that mentioned the Madam puppet or something like that? Did you see that?
Oh yeah. Well, there was the one review that was making the really like
ridiculous,
really dated references.
So dated.
Yeah. Yeah, what was it? There was definitely talking about like nobody knows what the Madam is. Nobody knows who Madam is.
I barely know what Madam is.
I know, right? And we're old.
We're old, right? Exactly.
Yeah, Madam was a creepy old puppet.
And that's
oh my god, I know what we're talking about now.
The extent of my knowledge of Madam is that, and from like Family
it took me a
Guy.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Mario then teams up with Princess Peach to save her kingdom from Bowser, a fire-breathing beastie who commands a vast army of Koopas, who are turtles. Bowser is a turtle too, if a rather monstrous one. He's like a fusion of Lionel Barrymore, the Wayland Flowers puppet Madam, and a T-Rex plushie made for toddlers. Lionel Barrymore, I believe, died in the 1950s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Madam, the puppet character Madam, probably hasn't been relevant since like the late 70s.
No.
So
too funny.
Yeah,
but I think there's still that sort of gulf between mass entertainment audience and video games, and I think sites like IGN and Kotaku and Polygon like sort of fill that void between things quite a bit. So I think they do still have plenty of use.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's read this one from hacker Elias Docky, who says, Phil's experience with Attack of the Friday Monsters made me wonder, which shorter games have you always meant to finish but never made time for? What do you recommend to others? I tend to be in the wrong mood for the topic or simply never return after a difficulty spike.
Short games that you've been meaning to get to?
What's that? Yeah, short games that we meant to get to. I actually did finish Firewatch, which is one of Docky's examples. He has some recommendations. What Remains of Edith Finch.
Wait, that's one I've been meaning to get to forever.
Short Hike is the one I was trying to think of. I keep meaning to play that, and I haven't gotten around to that.
Short Hike is really good.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
I know. I know Mike Phillips is a big fan of What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yes, he's the reason that I played that.
And I've been meaning to play it solely because of his enjoyment of it. But it's one of those ones that keeps kind of slipping through my fingers. I do need to sit down and play that sometime.
Yeah.
You know, it's another one that I've been wanting to play is Florence.
Florence, yeah.
Yeah, which I've heard nothing but great things about. But just, again, haven't really been able to find the time to sit down and go through it.
I just picked up Grease.
That's another one I need to play.
That's a fantastic
I just picked up
game.
that
You guys
game
should both play that.
On the Switch because it was like $4.
Yeah.
I played through that
up
recently on a recommendation from Scoop Joey. And God, it was so good. It's so good.
Yes, I need to.
Yeah. I want to finish Chicory. I really like Chicory a lot, and I just have not finished it.
How long does that game take?
I don't think it's particularly long.
Okay.
Check it on how long.
Because it does look cute.
It is very cute, and I think it is part of the PS Plus.
Oh, is it? Okay.
No, it says main story 9.5 hours.
That seems a little excessive.
So I'm probably towards the end.
Okay.
Of Chicory.
Oh, good.
To be honest, but yeah, I mean, I'm playing Dredge. I want to play more of Dredge. That's a shorter game as well. Little Gator game. Yeah, I would recommend that to anybody who likes Zelda stuff. Very similar to a Short Hike, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, shall we move on?
Sure.
Yeah. I need to. Yeah, I should write up a little list and just kind of go through.
I should do that too.
Edith Finch, Florence, and Grease.
Yeah.
Get through.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Mudron, who says, "Am I nuts for hoping that the next two Mario movies would just be straight adaptations of Super Mario 2 and 3? Imagine how cool it would be if they saved Yoshi for the fourth movie."
I can't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that because how many kids today are familiar with the stories of Mario 2 and 3?
I would obviously be way down with doing a Mario 2.
For sure.
Get Subcon in there, get a new villain.
Wart.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
See, I'd be very excited. That movie, right there, you say Wart, 10 out of 10. Done.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. It'd be weirder and probably more difficult for them to translate Mario 3 on its own into a movie. Just because.
What about the big world? You could have.
Well, I'm just thinking story wise because it's
what story? Did you see the Mario movie?
I did.
What story do you need? What story?
Oh, I know.
Do you need?
It's very it would just be a let's have them go to the giant world.
Absolutely.
During some montage sequence or something.
Yes.
But Mario 2, you have a different villain.
Yeah.
You have a different setting, Like I was saying earlier, they need to start dipping into.
They're going to do sequels to this.
Oh yeah, you need to start dipping into the RPG stuff. Get Fawful.
Yeah.
Oh man,
on the big screen,
and do more with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
Yeah, we did have a little Baby Mario and Luigi in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get Wario and Waluigi in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the entire cast of WarioWare.
Oh well, that's
Get them
when
in
we
there.
start getting into the spin-offs.
Yeah.
That's when the expanded cinematic universe comes into play.
The Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And you know that they could definitely do that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine them saving Yoshi
No,
for very long,
I can't imagine. No.
especially if you've seen the movie.
Exactly.
A wink.
Exactly. Wink.
A wink.
All right. I think we got one more we can do. What do you think of that? You like one more?
That's fine.
I have to bring it up because it's on Mastodon.
Oh,
So we'll do this.
we got
Hacker,
a toot everyone. Hey, speaking of toots,
we got a toot. Yeah.
Speaking of toots,
yeah,
I counted at least 2 perfect setups for fart jokes in the Mario movie, and I was stunned that they did not take them. Because Illumination, the Minion people, seems like they would waste no opportunity for a fart joke.
Miyamoto probably said, "Cut that."
That's true.
Cut that.
Yeah. That's true.
All right. Hacker alias Namava has tooted to us. He says, I recently began buying old school PC games like Ultima Underworld and System Shock. Now, I realize the P1P is probably the last gaming podcast I should ask for PC game recommendations.
How dare you?
But do you have any old school PC games to recommend?
Well, now old school PC games, hold on. Now we're talking. You got all your old LucasArts games, all your old Sierra games.
Day of the Tentacle.
That falls under the LucasArts umbrella.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would go with the danger with this stuff is that it's not necessarily easy to run. I don't know if you're running stuff on a modern PC or not. But I would highly recommend Blade Runner, not the remake.
Yeah.
The remake is not well done at all. Highly recommend that. The Wing Commander games I absolutely adore personally, and then you spin off into the Free Space games because of that, which are great as well.
Yeah.
Descent series is fantastic.
Oh yeah, Descent.
Yep,
great stuff.
Yep. All those great shooters that were spawned out of Doom and Duke Nukem 3D and like Blood and Redneck Rampage and
Hexen and Heretic.
Like those are just so much fun in general. And there were so many of them back then.
Yeah, there really were.
Really recommend Interstate 76. It's a lot of fun as well.
Yep.
I'm trying to visualize my game because I have a decent big box game shelf downstairs. I'm trying to think of what else is on those lists or on those shelves.
And when I'm talking like old LucasArts stuff, I certainly mean the graphic adventure games. Your Day of the Tentacle, your Sam & Max, the Monkey Islands, Grim Fandango, the Full Throttle, but also some of those old Star Wars games. X-Wing, TIE Fighter.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter is fantastic.
Yeah.
Alliance, I really liked a lot too. X-Wing Alliance. Yeah, I thought
Alliance
that
was good, but
yeah.
I'm in the X-Wing and TIE Fighter games were so good.
The Thief games from Eidos, really good games as well.
You know what?
The Tomb Raiders, if you like Tomb Raider. But
the old like Warcraft 2.
Yeah.
StarCraft.
Command and Conquer.
Yep. Those are all great.
Lots of good stuff.
It's true.
Yeah.
We got time for one more.
Oh my gosh.
And we got this toot from Ben Rivers.
Oh.
Who said, what was the first gaming soundtrack you bought on its own? And I remember this because I bought the Final Fantasy VI soundtrack directly from Square. They had a little catalog of things that you could buy, and I bought a 3 CD set that's called Kefka's Domain, and it had the soundtrack for Final Fantasy VI, and it's awesome. Awesome little album.
Wasn't the first one I bought, but it was given to me.
Yeah.
But I would have bought it. Is Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very
Great
nice.
soundtrack.
And I'm trying to remember what the first one I bought was.
I know I bought Final Fantasy soundtracks because they were kind of like the be all end all of video game music for me for a long time.
I wonder if it was the Parappa soundtrack.
I bought the Parappa soundtrack too.
I remember listening to the Vib Ribbon soundtrack in your car.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, Vib Ribbon. You didn't have to buy that though. It was Redbook Audio on the
was it? Okay.
on the disc. Just skip track 1 and then you got the soundtrack.
Yeah, I got a big like box set with the first 6 Mega Man soundtracks. Yeah, certainly the Parappa and Lammy soundtrack.
Yep, I had those.
And you also had the Milk Can CD as well, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Where it was like the in-universe of Jammer Lammy's band.
Yeah, that's right.
Performing their versions of all the songs from the game.
Yep,
that's funny.
What other ones I got? The Guitar Man soundtrack.
Yeah.
But what was your? But Phil, what was your first?
Yeah.
I'm just doing a list of soundtracks now.
I know. I
possibly Parappa.
It might have been Parappa. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6 was my first one, and then after that, I got the soundtrack for Bare Knuckle 3, Streets of Rage 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day at EGM, Phil, maybe when you were working there, they still did this, but whenever Ed would go to Japan for a show, which was actually quite often, there was this like little spreadsheet you could put like things you wanted on the spreadsheet, and if he found them, which it wasn't him actually doing the shopping, it was somebody else doing the shopping. It was the Tokyo Pop people, Stu Levy, and
was it really?
Yeah, they would do the shopping. But anyway, I put the Streets of Rage soundtrack on there, the Bare Knuckle soundtrack, and they apparently only had Bare Knuckle 3. So that was what they got and brought back for me, and I paid for it because I had asked for it. But Bare Knuckle 3, not a particularly great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got scammed.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I also had Sega put in their press kit at a CES the soundtracks for Batman Returns Sega CD and Echo the Dolphin Sega CD.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't buy those, but I did get them.
Yeah.
For free from Sega. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, lots of good memories of blasting video game tunes.
Yeah.
In the car. Especially that.
Lots of good memories of velcroing a Discman to the dash of my car and running it into the tape deck. Yes.
Beautiful.
Of course. Yeah, that's the only way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I think that's a good place to stop.
Okay.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters or the @P1Podcasts at mastodon.social. We are there as well. And we have an internet website you can go to as well. player1podcast.com is where you'll find us on the internet. You'll find our contact information there and blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart, Generation 16 episodes when they happen, and you will find show notes and links to all the things we talked about in this episode and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. You can also catch us on Stitcher Radio or on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast or watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Twitters, Facebooks, Twitch, televisions, all over the darned place. Just Follow our Twitter account or our Mastodon account at P1 Podcast or .social .mastodon, whatever.
It's not that hard, Phil.
I don't know what the
P1
Mastodon
Podcast and mastodon.social.
Mastodon.social. Sure.
Easy peasy.
Sure.
Lemon squeezy.
Are people actually using Mastodon?
Yes.
I go to Mastodon. I set up a Mastodon account ages ago. And I go there. I went there like a week ago. And the only people I saw tooting were like you and Mr. Nelson.
That's right.
And I'm following a bunch of people. Are they just not tooting?
I imagine the people that you're following are people who migrated from Twitter for about 2 days and then went back to Twitter.
There it is.
But I'm not going back to Twitter, so you'll always find new toots from me, Phil.
I suppose.
Yeah. But you can also on Mastodon, you can follow hashtags. So you can do like hashtag retro gaming. And that way it surfaces people that you might want to follow. You can do like hashtag Mega Man. And then if somebody uses that in one of their toots, you can find people with common interests to you.
I don't want to find people with common interests. I'm not looking to meet people on here.
You're not looking to find people who post interesting things about.
I'm not trying to generate some sort of social network.
Oh, okay. Well,
on this,
maybe you're looking in the wrong places. I don't know.
Could
be. Yeah.
Anyway, you can follow us on those to find out when we're doing our next live show. Typically, friends, it is Sunday nights at 5:30 specific time. So join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Giant 3D printed Lego pieces ain't cheap, friends. And I need to fill my home with them. And only your misappropriated donations can help.
No.
That's not true. CJ won't let me touch that money.
Nope.
It just goes to supporting the show. All that boring stuff about running a podcast. Don't worry.
That's right.
But I'll tell you what, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this. No fooling. We play games, crack wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ.
Yeah.
Do we have a game this week?
We do.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yes.
What is it?
We have a Jeopardy quiz from Enchi.
Oh,
one of our moderators on Discord.
Another driver in the Player One Podcast Racing League.
Oh,
indeed, and fellow Washingtonian.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
do we know what is there like a theme to it?
There is no theme.
Okay.
Except he has requested that we do every man for himself instead of the.
I'm out.
I don't like this trend.
No.
I don't like this trend where our listeners keep trying to pit us against each other.
I know.
We each
do that
other
ourselves.
So little.
Oh, I mean, what Phil said.
Yeah.
That's right.
There is such a tenuous hold on our friendship as is.
True.
We don't need you people to strain those threads
you can't
any
keep
further.
Pulling it even further apart. It's just
exactly
got to break eventually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find out if it breaks tonight in the after show.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Philip. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
oh, that is also cheap.
You get access to the weekly vlog that I do called The Weekly Commute, where I talk about not only the next episode of Generation 16 that I'm working on, but all the other stuff I'm working on. Racing videos, Let's Read videos, all, what I really think of Phil and CJ, all that stuff. That's on the secret channel. And I've been reading a classic video game reviews from my days at Gaming Age before I was getting paid to review games professionally. You know what? I got to say, my reviews have been pretty good.
Is that right?
Pretty good. This past week, I was reading over my Duke Nukem 64 review. That was a good game. That was a really good conversion of Duke Nukem. Funny story. They turned the porn shop into a gun shop. That's aged really well. I was so taken aback, and I just because I ran through the first level to capture footage, and I went through the door, and I mean I knew it couldn't be the porn shop because it's the Nintendo 64 version of Duke Nukem, but I'd forgotten that it was just a full-on gun store with all these. Yeah, boy,
look,
that was uncomfortable.
We Americans only like a handful of things. So if it can't be one, it's got to be the other.
Yes, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it was still pretty cool. But yeah, please consider supporting that. It goes towards, like I said, not just Generation 16, but other videos and projects that I'm working on, as well as the tools that I need to do those, hiring translators, using some voice actors in some episodes, and paying for stuff like Adobe licenses so I can edit this stuff. So please, please, please consider supporting the show. Thank you so much.
Are you getting Chris Pratt to do some narration?
No, I can't get him. No.
Oh, well.
No. Sorry.
Is that it?
Yep.
I feel like that's it.
I feel like that's it. Yes.
CJ, it's always mind-boggling having a chat with you, my friend.
And right back at you, Phil.
Oh, you have clawed your way to the top of the yarn ball that is my heart.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Hey, no problem. And of course, a big old thank you to you. Yes, you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single darn one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, as always, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. Be lovely to each other. And I genuinely hope that I see you next week. Well, I don't see you. You're listening to this. But I hope in spirit to see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.